And I hate the idea. You know what I mean? I know some people who can't see well enough in high school to count the calories on the back there. Ingredients list. If you made food for them, right? Like this, things you have to be good at, like this munitions and creations. You have to like this. Unfortunately, being a soldier is such a responsible job that it's as qualified as a doctor in the opposite, like cryptography or interior intelligence garnering. Somehow you have to get intelligence without the enemy finding out. There's people you have to rely on, the hospital staff, your mechanics, ballistics experts, chemists, car makers, like there's undercover preparation. The famous joke in the English army about casual speech and slang like colloquialism is a special course. They have to update every so often. They like to update for nothing. So they always ask the prisoners in the jail for drugs. When they're in for drugs like this. So what it is when they do, they sound like the scalliest in the world, which is this thing about being Scally is in old World War II slang for an Irish gypsy homeless. What used to happen during the colonial slavery is the Irish would go anywhere pretty much better than where they were for a job, which was miserable, wet and rainy and hurricaney and cold. To get away from their banes of incest and alcohol abuse. So quite often they would travel anywhere, but they suffer all the pre-World War II issues, like nobody knows what their name is or where they come from. So it got to be a thing that people would hate to see Irish gypsies, like Hitler hates to see Romany gypsies because it's got the gypsy word in it. Who are you? Where are you from? Where are you? Like there's some Romany gypsies and Irish gypsies are like that. Wherever they hit town, they have to live in the middle of town, where anyone in town could see them at any time, since no one trusts them anyway. The word scally comes from there. Basically, the Irish were great at horses, like the Argentinians and the Arabs. But you know what I mean? The future, that the technological evolution of life has liberated the Irish from that sort of slavery of namelessness. Hay fever. British and European people quite often suffer from hay fever. They suffer from the heat, so they can't go abroad. So basically, what they're looking out for is scallies and drug addicts. Isn't that a police job? If there ever was a place where national service could be appropriate, which I'm finding difficult because of the cost of the army, it's so rubbish being in the army without a proper wage, like being a Nazi. I can't even tell you. I couldn't even explain it to you. I could show you, but I don't want to do it like this. You know, my feet are blistered from walking into town. Do you even know the amount of walking you have to do in the army? I don't have feet left like this. I'd be like a crazy man. You'd see the tapes of the man is the chiropractor like this, and the chiropractor's got like a saw blade like this. It rotates like this to drill all the callus off your foot. I'm not looking forward to it. In America, being in the army is considered a punishment for a crime they do to their elder children. This is quite often very, very foreign service, and they retire young and sometimes extremely crippled. Like, I do get veterans pensions if you go, but to be honest, in life where there's so many jobs to have like this, it's sort of a sentence of evil. But basically, what I mean is, if there ever was a place where you should put it, which of course I don't want to, I don't like the way it thinks of slavery, how about city stock market gamblers? Like the city stock market gamblers come fresh out of computer college, not really knowing life outside of the computer. And sometimes they, in particular specific, gamble enormous debts of millions. Like this, you hear about the guy who computer hacked Liberia. It's on the edge of Africa. It's where they used to send the emancipated slaves from America who've been waiting on islands like the Cayman Islands and Jamaica and Bagaman and the hurricanes and the murderers for over 100 years before they sent them home. Right? That first like this. So Liberia took it over in a day. He took the whole country over in a day. You got 6 months in prison. I saw a guy holding what he claimed to be a human heart. Like this is about to eat it. Right? When you're stuck behind a computer like this, you don't really see the hearts. They've been ripped, beaten out of chest. Even if it was a fake cow could have had AIDS. Whose cow is that? Why wouldn't there be a cow in a war zone? Right? You don't see that. I think that they should work until they've literally paid it off. And when you're a computer specialist, you're a nerd, right? And then there's the rest of the nerds, right? In the police will check up on you because it's government spending. Government has to be aware